Guys, what are we doing? Well, it's gonna be fun because we are gonna finally take a look at that Rockstead that I've been carrying a little bit on and off. I didn't heavy use this knife. It's a very, very attractive knife. I didn't want to do anything to it. And on top of that, I didn't want to have to sharpen it again because it was a nightmare. Guys, you know what time it is? Turn down the volume and listen to a little bit of music. So guys, this is the Rockstead Hizen. I carried it for a little bit. I wanted to do a sharpening video about it, but there was no way I could, the amount of focus it took to do this, there was no way I could have filmed it. The camera would have been in the way and I would have screwed something up. So at any rate, this came in from one of my customers who's actually a paying member. Speaking of which, if you're a paying member, I have set up a Guilded server, which is basically equivalent to Discord. For you guys, if you're paying members. I'll figure something out for everyone else, but I just wanted to have another benefit for the paying members. So we'll talk about that later. At any rate, this came in, I carried it a good bit. I did some light duty cutting tasks with it and it performs incredibly. I don't believe this would be a knife I would own or carry just because of a couple things. We'll talk about it when we turn it around. But overall, you cannot argue the quality of these knives. They are amazing. So, yeah, let's not make this take any longer here. Let's turn this around, take a look at it from above. We'll get some specs, we'll get some weights, and we'll just talk about how I used it and the things I love about this knife and a couple of the things I don't. So, all right, guys, let's turn this around. All right, guys, I've wanted to get to do an actual review of one of these for a long time. I actually had this same knife and the larger version on the channel, but it was on loan from someone and I was not able to do anything with it. And one of them just didn't even have an edge. The individual had cut something made of metal, and so impossible for me to test. So now we actually have to do a test. So let's go ahead and let's get the specs out of the way. So what are we looking at? We are looking at a 7-inch overall length, and that is in a blade that is 2.875 inches in ZDP 189. It is a drop point blade at 67 Rockwell. Hang on a second, there's an ambulance coming. About that, guys. Like I said, the neighbor's dogs were about to start singing with the ambulance. So I was saying, yeah, this is a ZDP 189 blade, drop point 67 Rockwell approximate. It is done in a mirror polished full convex grind. It does have a secondary bevel that I also convexed, so I did the sharpening on this. Blade thickness on this, 0.125, and I imagine this is going to come in real close because 0.1250 exactly. If I give it a little bit more, 0.125. That is the most exact any of the knives I've reviewed has been in a very long time. Handle length on this, 4.125 inches. It's done in a hard coat black anode duraluminum. Now that's an alloy that Rockstead uses for their aluminum handles, and then it is done in a black hard coat anode. It runs on washers. Now, it is really smooth. If you watched the first day in pocket, there was some grittiness to it. I have taken this knife apart 3 different times, cleaned it up, and tried different lubricants on it. Fluorinated grease is the way to go. I tried some of that other lube I used. It just did not get where I was going. That grittiness is pretty much all gone. Now, like I said, runs on washers. It is right-hand carry only, tip up. So, final spec on this. Let's go ahead and get the scale. So the weight they have listed on knifecenter.com, which is where I found the info on this, is 2.4 ounces. So let's go ahead and let's get that. Well, we'll do it in grams first. For those of you who don't use Freedom units, that's 73 grams. In ounces, 2.4 ounces. I imagine it's going to come in close to 2.5. Yep, right there, 2.5. So not a heavy knife. Let's go ahead and get the scale out of the way, and we will continue to talk about this. So, like I said, I did carry this knife, and I did use it for some stuff. It was already used. It had already been used, obviously. It had some scratches on it, and there were some minor scratches on the blade. There's a couple more now because my sharpening process does get some grit on the blade. There's just really no real way to avoid that. This thing cuts so smoothly. It is insane how well this cuts. It took such a keen edge. And I would hazard to say that you could probably keep this knife sharp for a very long time. I didn't do any testing to see if it would score, glass or anything like that. I didn't want to do any of that. Action on it, really, really smooth. It's hydraulic. It's a lot like a Sebenza. You can thumb flick it. I have a hard time with it because I'm hesitant because it's a little small in my hand. So in hand, it is fairly comfortable. I find that it feels like I'm going to slip up and over because I have big hands and this knife is a little bit smaller. I think if I was going to get one of these, it would be the Higo. So, in my opinion, this probably isn't a knife for me, but I can appreciate it for what it is. It is gorgeous. See, I have a hard time where it just doesn't lock out for me. I don't know if I'm just not. At any rate, this would be a knife that I would just slow roll anyway. Really, really smooth action. Only 2 screws for disassembly. Beautifully well done. Thumb studs, almost look like the Duncan Butterfly yo-yo when you put them together. The blade is perfectly centered. Beautifully great. It is so smooth. The grind on it is just so pristine. And to maintain that bevel on that edge and not have any hiccups, the reason that you guys didn't see a sharpening video is that was just a nightmare for me to maintain that angle and keep it clean and not scratch and not get past that bevel and widen it at all. The handles are a little slick. That's one of the other things. For me, those handles feel a little slick in hand. And with this being so hazardously sharp, I'd be afraid that I would slip up and over and hurt myself. It's just one of those things where I can appreciate the knife, but it's probably not something I would ever carry. I did some light cutting. I opened some packages. I did cut down a little bit of like light cardboard. I cut some line, some rope, some heavy rope, and it cut really well. I cut nylon rope. I had some natural line. It was just stuff that we were going to throw away anyway, and I kept it, and I just cut it. I cut some nylon. I cut down like a front panel of an old suitcase that we were getting rid of anyway. And it did an amazing job. It cuts through everything. No signs that it was going to lose its edge. Like I said, 67 Rockwell on that ZDP 189 was great. Now, final thing I wanted to talk about is packaging. These knives come packaged. They all come in the wood box, like a lot of the Japanese kitchen knives do. When you open the box, you've got your layout here. There's a tool in here. You have your actual Torx in here. It's a number 9 Torx that you can use to take the knife apart. I did not use that. I used my own tools. The knife sits in here nice and nested. Display, beautiful. And then it comes with your specifications. So if you need to know about your knife, it comes with a spec sheet, pictures, lets you know, depending on what it is. It's got all your coatings. This one's ZDP 189, HRC 67.1 on this one. They also make this knife in a steel called YXR7. It's much more prone to rust. It's got all that information on it. And then you have your card here that tells you about your warranty, things you should and shouldn't do, care and maintenance, how to avoid abuse. It's not a punch, not a chisel. Don't throw your knife. It was not designed for these purposes. And it has the information on where to send the knife back to if you've got any questions or if you need to have it serviced. So it's really, really cool the way they package it. And then you have the foam over top, and it just comes in these really nice boxes. They're machine boxes. They are beautiful knives. Beautiful thing to have here on the channel, to actually be able to carry one and make a decision on whether I liked it or not. Like I said, I do like the knife. I just don't think it would be something I would carry. And at $760, once again, that's something that do I have knives that are that expensive? Yes, I do, but I don't think I would use this one. And it just seems like a waste of the better part of $1,000 in my opinion, for me. But if you want to get one, they are amazing. Like it will glide through any material that you want to cut. So thank you very much, Daniel, my customer, for letting me carry this. He actually sent some more stuff in for review. I have a 940 that has a transparent blades reblade that we're going to look at. But I want to get this done. I want to get this back out to him. I also have to do a couple videos of lefty stuff to get him back out. So guys, let's turn this around and do some final thoughts. Yeah, guys, like I said down at the table, at the price point, $760, I just can't see a use in my carry for this. And it just kind of feels small and cramped, which makes it, as hazardously sharp as this is, it makes it feel dangerous. And I've really only ever had one other knife come that I was leery of. Like it felt dangerous and it felt like it was going to cut me. And it's nothing against the knife. It's 100% just size of my hand versus size of this knife. I think the larger version of this, the Higo, would be something that would be more up my alley. But like I said, great knife. So that's it on this one, guys. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as, like I say, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, share it with people you like. It's the best way to help push the channel up the algorithm. But if you do want to support the channel financially, I have a handful of ways. I have in the description tab down below, you can find all of these. I have a membership link that gets you in on a lot of different benefits based on tier, sharpening tutorial series for the premium tier guys, exclusive content. You save $5 per knife off of my sharpening, and I just set up what's called a gilded server. It's a lot like Discord, and that's basically right now only for the paying members. It's just another little benefit, and we can just chat all the time. It's like being in the chats on one of my videos. Other ways you can do it, I have affiliate links down below on several different sites. I have VPN, I have SOG Knives, I have Amazon. Anything you purchase through those guys, I get a portion of it when you check out, and it doesn't cost you anything. And the final way is I have a merchandise store down in the description. It's on Ember Shirt Co. I've set you up a coupon code that works anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. That coupon code is Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, Crazy Sharp. And if you purchase any of my merch and send me a picture of you wearing it, I will put them in the video. Jared, please, all you have to do is stand in front of a camera and send me a picture so I can put it back here. Guys, that's it. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.